Hello, everyone. This is definitely an impromptu party because I hadn't planned to go live, so I am just posting note to Instagram and letting everyone know what's going on. So, hopefully, y'all will hang with me for a little bit. Please feel free to drop a note into, hey there, Amy or Phil. Assume it's Amy. Please say hello as you come into the room, because that's the fun, is having you all here. Give me just a second. I'm going to post to Snapchat, or not Snapchat, Instagram. Let's see. Oops. Okay. That way people can stop in. There's several of you jumping in. Excellent, Amy. I figured it was probably you. Good to have you on the stream tonight. I'm just continuing a little bit of a painting I did a little bit ago. Or actually, was it yesterday? Or I'm losing my, I guess it was maybe Sunday night I worked on this. So if y'all were here Sunday evening, that I worked on the waterfalls from Spearfish Canyon in South Dakota. That's what we're going to work on a little bit tonight. Try to improve the outcomes of that. Let me just start up my phone camera. Where is the app? I lost it. There it is. So I can show you what I'm doing. All right. There it is. And we have another camera. All right. Hold on, y'all. There we go. So you can see my reference photo as well as the painting. All right, as we do, I'm just popping in to get this started, and it's really impromptu, so let me pull up just a second. I gotta quit. Something's running on my CPU. Okay. Let me turn on my overlay so you can see the reference photo. And then I'm going to shift this a little bit that way. So you can, there we go. So you can see kind of what I'm looking at here on my board, but you all can see the actual photo, which is even better. Actually, and as you come in, welcome to the new, those of you who are new popping in, say hello. This is really informal, as if you've been on my live streams before. Super informal, kind of like a open house. So my window's open behind me, and so you may get a little noise from the street, but it was too beautiful a night to keep the window shut, so that is open. I want to show y'all what we're going to be doing in the next couple of weeks, or whoops, next few times. Yes, that, but excuse me, the next few times that I paint, I am probably going to be doing these paintings. So I mentioned the painting that my friend Nicholas, the picture my friend Nicholas took. This is that painting. So it's a beautiful, beautiful photo of a trumpet swan, or trumpeter swan. So, and there's a lot of detail you can't really see there, but I'm excited to work on this. This will be the first animal that I will have done. So we're going to try that in the next week or two. Here's another one. Generally, when I see friends that take really great pictures, I instantly message them and say, hey, can I use your photo? Yeah, I think it'll be pretty, Amy. I'm excited to try it, and it'll be a new experience for me. So, something new. All right, and another one I'm going to do is this photo that an old internet acquaintance, Jake, took. It's really vibrant. You can't see it, but there's the reflection of the grasslands, and then just this grassland, and there's actually water behind it. Again, I kind of, well, maybe I can put some other pictures behind it so you can see a little better. But it's super bright. Sky will be challenging, so that'll be a fun one to try to do. And we'll do that in the next week or two as well, at least attempt it. And then I'm going to return to one I tried a couple months ago that was a mess, but it's beautiful. It's these flowers, and they're actually really bright, almost orange yellow and magenta, and beautiful, beautiful colors. And so maybe if I turn towards there, you can see a little bit. I just didn't have the skill, and I probably still don't, but we're going to try it again because I think it'll be fun. Hey there, welcome to those of you. I saw a couple, and here's another one. This is my friend Ethan took these. He works at a flower shop, and they were just so beautiful. So I want to try to work on these. Those of you that are popping in, I am going to be working on a painting that I started on Sunday evening. This painting right here, or this photo. Let me switch back to my main camera, and I'll step in the camera a little bit. So we'll get started. I want to work on this a little more, but I just wanted to show you what I will be doing in the next couple of weeks. If you're just popping in the room, please say hello. This is just open house style. I know a lot of people see the notification on Facebook and just want to see what their friends are rambling about. Even if you have no interest in painting, say hello, and then feel free to dip back out. Super informal here. I just love chatting with y'all. And if you're on, I don't think, nope, no YouTube viewers at the moment, but feel free to say hello. I am excited to chat with you. So let me take a look. Okay, so let's jump in. Oh, first of all, we gotta do. Oops. Oh, there you go. I'm gonna plug y'all back in. Okay, we gotta. First things first. We gotta take care of the requirements. So you can't paint without a fancy painter's smock. So I'm gonna put on my canvas apron so I don't get my nifty Kansas City Royals shirt painted on. So I'll be ready to go. All right, and then we'll go back to there. Let us get started. We are going to try, I'm not sure exactly what we need to do. The things that are kind of glaring to me about this photo, I mean, it looks okay, especially for someone who's just started painting like, what, I don't know, a month or two ago. But what is frustrating me about this image is this part of the image is in the shadows. and this part is in the sun, obviously, if you look at the reference photo. And I'm not yet sure how to actually depict that properly, especially in these sections where there's the stone face that is kind of exposed. I'm not sure how to show that in the shadows, because it's a light colored stone, but I don't know how to show the shade of the shadows. And maybe it's in presenting the light of, but it is a difficult thing to accurately reflect where the light is showing up. So I think what I want to do is, you know what, I'm just not sure. Well, let's if y'all have any advice, please jump in. All right. Let's take one thing at a time. I wonder if we can do some of this in the foreground, if we can fix that up a little bit. Maybe figure out how that should come across. Let's see. I know I'm going to need some white, so let's put that on the palette. And then let me do some light green. And I'm going to do some sap green as well. Probably should have some. What else is in there? Maybe some brown. Burnt umber. Let us try it out. Okay, let's see what we get. So that little bit of grass right here, this is a little too fluorescent for me. And you're kind of looking at it at a distance. Let me zoom in a little bit. Tip my camera a little bit so you can see more. Whoops. I want to make sure it's well. Okay, so right now that's just like, yeah, it's not very defined. So let me see. There is, I'm going to take a small little brush, take a little bit of white and brown, and right off to the right here is the water rolling down. So this is actually coming in, and I want to actually pull this up on my computer. So bear with me just a minute, because I want to pull up the actual image so I can see how it Okay. Want to be able to see how it looks, but the one you all have is a little bit, there's kind of a some of the stream water right there. It's kind of rushing over the rocks. Okay, so then I think there are some sticks here. So I think I want to actually go in, see if I can create that. Some brown, a little brown. Okay, there's like some sticks right in here. We have a light green, so I want to actually take my other brush because I like, let me see if I can, this light kind of green. Okay. I think there's also experimenting a little bit color. I have kind of a mint green here that, let's see, oh, it's very light. So I think actually this mint green needs to be at the top of this. Maybe a little bit in here. Maybe it just needs a little bit more shade. All right. Using the edge of a fan brush to try to create some grass strokes right along the bank. Don't think that's having the effect I want, but let's see. Changing brushes. Brushes. Where's my liner brush? Liner. There it is. So we'll put a little bit. It's not really doing it. All right. Welcome. Welcome. Those of you watching primarily on Facebook, maybe on YouTube a few. Feel free to say hello as you pop in. What I want to create here is that those areas of grass, and I'm not sure the best way to do it. So we're kind of experimenting, y'all. We are figuring it out, which is most of my painting experience. It's like, let's see how to figure this out, because I have no idea how to do this. Okay. I just noticed something else that is back in here are some kind of white flowers that might give us some depth perception if we put those flowers back in. So I'm going to put those in here. I think I'm going to repaint also. I learned something today. There's a guy I've mentioned before on my stream on YouTube named Kevin Hill. Named Kevin Hill, and he is a really good painter. And I happened to just find a video of his that is where he was painting birches, and so I want to repaint these and see how they end up. Okay, let me take this green in here. I want to come back in here and just put some detail in. I guess I should take my glasses off because I am nearsighted. So there is kind of some green. Okay, so there's shadow right here. This actually makes it look like this is shadow from the tree, but it's not there in the image. It's actually shadow under this bush. So I want to kind of make that apparent. But let me take some of that shadow goes up into here, so we'll bring some of that in. And there's actually, this bush comes out into here. So I want to figure out like how I can lay, maybe it's with this brush. Some structures that look like actual bushes. Let's see. There's Trying to fix some of this. Make it a little more realistic. Okay. Well, hello to those of you that just came into the room. Please say hello in the comments. So I love to know who's here with me. We're continuing a painting that I started on Sunday night. The painting you see there or the picture that you see there, it's the Black Hills of South Dakota. And it's Spearfish Canyon. If you've ever been to the Black Hills, you probably drove through that canyon or near that canyon for some reason. I don't like these trees, so I'm taking them out. We'll figure out what to do with them. It's a great thing about painting. You can quickly change something you don't like and turn it into something else. Ooh, that's way too minty green, isn't it? So we will not do that. All right. Hey there, Matthew. Thanks for popping in and saying hello. I'm trying to fix this painting with limited knowledge and skill. So what's been fun over the last month or so, I had a student named Alec who challenged me to paint original. He said, quit doing tutorials, because I had been doing just copying other people's stuff. And he's like, paint original, but I didn't feel like I had enough knowledge at the time yet. But I decided just to go ahead. I still watch a lot of tutorials. And this experience of just kind of not knowing what I'm doing and having to figure it out actually creates all kinds of cool opportunities to improve. So one thing that I do want to do is take my little brush here, and I want to take, I think, some phthalo green, which is a deep kind of blue green. I don't know if y'all can see this color, but let me, nope, yeah, dark green. So let's see, I'm going to put this on the palette a little bit, and I want to go in, let's see, where did I want to I think I want to work on some of this here, but first, I realized that this blue is a little bright, so I want to take it down a little bit. And I want to fix the tree, so I'm going to mix some very light blue, and we're just going to come in here, take that out like it wasn't even there. I love acrylics, y'all. Acrylics just make my day because they dry very quick and you can take them out. It's too dark. I think I'm going to do the same over here because I didn't like how this turned out. Look how quick the trees just disappear and the waterfall just shows right up. Bye-bye, ugly stuff. No one will ever know you were there. Hopefully. We'll put some more sky back in here. There's a little bit right in here too that disappeared, so we'll kind of put that back in. Bye-bye. Getting a little crazy, so I should stop. Okay. Let me... Ooh, that's a little too wet. Ooh, too blue. Almost. Okay. We will let that sky dry for a while, then we'll come back to it. All right. I actually like how I wish that the actual falls, like I wish these trees weren't here because I think it's so much more impressive when the falls are just centered by themselves. But that's, since this is a real place, I think I should try to be fairly true to the place. Plus, this looks a little more grand or majestic than it is. They're beautiful, but these are not gigantic falls. They're not huge, huge, overwhelming falls. So, one of the things that... Sure thing, Amy. It was great to see you. Have a good night. All right, so I want to try to fix this one thing at a time. So I wonder if this is what goes on in my head. It seems a little frenetic. So I don't know, and eventually I want to study this more and really get so that it is natural or second nature. Not natural, but second nature. I'm wondering to mute down these cliffs a little bit and make them look more like they're in the shadows. I wonder if we could introduce some gray and brown to tone down the cliffs and make it look like they are in the shadows. So let us do an experiment together here. I am going to mix some paint and we will see, because we can always take it out. So there's my little favorite brush. All right, I'm gonna take, I'm gonna need some more white. So I'm actually going to, I wonder if I can zoom out and show y'all what I'm doing. Let's see. I'm wondering actually if I'm talking to myself is what I'm wondering. I know I'm talking to myself, but all right. Let me take some white, a touch of black, make gray, and a touch of brown, so that we have kind of a gray, muted gray brown. What do y'all think? I have this beautiful kind of gray brown. I'm wondering actually if that can come in. It's too gray. Y'all tell me if you're still watching. Tell me, is this too gray for this cliff? Does it need to be more brown? Mix some more paint. It's hard to tell till it till it dries. Ooh, that went way dark. That's the hard thing with black. Black just becomes dark really quick, or it becomes gray really fast. go. Like we can see some of the rock face back in there. That might help us with the shadow problem I talked about before. Those of you that weren't on at the beginning of the live stream, I was talking about the frustration of this being in shadow and not looking like it's in shadow and not sure what to do about it. So I think this does work for me. Just muting it down a little bit. Yeah, I think I need a little more of the gray. So we'll take that right over the top of this, repaint that. Mute it down a little bit. But it's cool to know that a little bit of gray can be used to mute this. Black, white, of course, make gray, and then just a little burnt umber in, and we get this kind of brownish gray color. Then we'll come in and put the detail again over it just to kind of fix that. Still feels really light to me. It's clear. Yeah, I kind of like how this is turning out. It's drying. But I like I think I like it on both sides. I want it really dark on, not really dark, but this same tone on the other side. So I think I need to go a few shades darker. I think there's a little more brown in there. Cool. Well, we will see how that plays out. We will let it dry a little bit, like we let this. And now that I look at the sky, I'm realizing that I want to change it up a little bit. That sky is still, on your end, it doesn't look, well, you know what? Doesn't look super blue on your end, but on this end it looks really like almost baby blue, which is a little too much for me. So most of this will be hidden, so it won't matter. But it just wasn't sitting right with me, so we're going to take it up a little bit. And I just wanted to get rid of, because it feels like this is not, needs to slant more. Like we need more. I'll just give it some clouds back there if it, yeah. There is kind of a place in there. All right, that gives us a better sky. Okay. at least I think. All right, rinse out those. Thanks, Henry. Yes, it is a beautiful. I had never been to the falls. I'd always been to Bridal Veil, but I had never been to Spearfish Falls. I didn't even know it was there. But Rough Lock was closed. There was a tornado that came through this summer, and so we couldn't get down the path to Rough Lock or the road to Rough Lock. So the park ranger or whoever was there told us to go across the street to Spearfish Falls. So we got to see it. Yeah, pop in. I make my live streams just kind of like an open house. So pop in, pop out. I'm so glad you said hello. Thank you. Appreciate it so much. Okay. So let us, now that we have this figure fixed a little bit, I feel like this is fixed a little bit. One thing I want to do is to I want to put in after this. Oh, it's almost dry. I want to put in this tree again. That's like it's a little tiny, maybe a little tiny birch. But I learned something really cool from Kevin Hill. That if you take white and purple, so I'm gonna grab me some pre-mixed purple because I got it, and that's my business, as Miss Tabitha would say. I got the pre-mixed purple. Oh, you can't see it. There it is, pre-mixed purple. So purplish color, at least that's what Kevin says, or the painting he was doing. Maybe it won't work for my painting, but we're gonna try it. A little purple and a little white mixed together actually make the birch look real. Isn't that crazy? So I want to mix a little, mostly white, a lot of white, and just a barely touching purple. Just a little. Okay. I want to tone it down a little. Maybe just a little bit of yellow. Oh, I have a whole bunch of yellow on my palette now. It's not what I want. Yellow's so powerful. You just want to tone it. Oh, it's almost too much. Okay. So, a little bit of gray. Let's see what we can make, if it works. I keep bouncing back and forth to see if y'all are chatting with me. No one is, which is fine. I'm just glad, those of you that are watching, that you are listening to my rambling. Okay, we want to come in here. This is still going to be a little too bright. Okay, let me keep mixing, Can't go wrong. I think I'm going to make it a little more gray. Because what I really want is that birch in the back to blend, not blend because I want to see that it's there, but I want it to be I don't want it to be so white that it just pops out off the canvas because it's supposed to be in the shadows. Makes sense, y'all? So we're going to bring her right in here. Okay. We are going to make a little gray. She's just got this little baby sticking out. So I'm toning her down. If you can't probably see it. I'm just toning her down. And then more. There's a couple. In the back. Can't even see it, but it's the details that end up making the difference. I'm going to tone her down too, this little Missy. She's back there. See what's starting to happen? This is actually, which is really fascinating. When you get it right, it works. I'm going to put a little bit more dark at the bottom of this tree. Okay. I don't even know. Okay. Oops. When you mix those darker colors like the gray or the purple, it's more like what we actually see, what our eye actually sees, as opposed to the stark white. There's very little stark white in nature. So what it also does is it starts to create a line of, with this darker and this darker, you start to create a line of shadow back tucked in here, which is what I wanted to create. So I'm starting, that makes me happy. I'm starting to get the effect that I want, which is just, God, it's just something, I mean, it's just learning. I don't know, because you look at the picture and you're like, this isn't gray-brown. The reference photo, it's like this light brown. But if you try to paint it that way, it doesn't work. So kind of stepping back a little bit to take a look at what I have here. You know what I've realized, and I'm fixing a lot of composition things. I realize because of the width or the landscape layout of this photo, it was obviously my phone, so it's longer than my canvas. My canvas actually should be like this. So the waterfalls, the falls look a lot larger than in the reference photo, which is fine. But what I'm realizing is that this up here is maybe too high. Although, maybe it doesn't matter, because if I'm going to create these areas of shadow behind there, and then this is going to be the highlighted part, and then the tree is going to be, it might work. So this is the part also, if anybody's out there listening, because I don't know if anybody is still on, but you may see this after the fact. But a lot of times people say to me, oh, you've improved your painting so quick. It's only been like 3 months. What actually allows me, I think part of what allows me to improve quickly is the critical thinking, like sitting back and really thinking through these things, thinking through like why and what, and trying, you know, it's kind of critical thinking of trying things and testing, and so I'm realizing, oh, I need to create some darker greens in here, kind of similar to here, that are shadows here, although we might be able to come with some, I don't know if I can do detailed enough leaves that it stands out there. But I think I need to highlight this kind of bushy area first to get it correct. And then come in with the tree in front of it. Because you always want to try to work furthest from the viewer to closest. All right, let's experiment a little bit. Okay, if I look at this reference photo, I have some dark green, which I have on my palette. I think I can. I may have to rinse out my water. Ooh, just dipped my paint shirt. So I used some old t-shirts to wipe my brushes off, and I just dipped it right in the paint. Okay, y'all, if you're sitting there, I'm going to go switch out my water, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I know you were waiting with bated breath. My water is clean. I see a couple of new people joined, popping in. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining. Say hello. If you are, feel free to ask questions. Ask what the heck I'm doing. I don't know is the answer already. I'm figuring it out is the answer. So, yes, that's the answer. All right, what I want to do is blend some of this green. I need some sap green to make it look not peppermint. Okay. I want a really dark kind of color. Green. There's like this dark, maybe I need some phthalo, not phthalo, ultramarine blue. Because there's these, if you notice kind of the shadow places, they're kind of a brown, green, it's dark. And I want to lay in some of that right there. Yeah. Okay. Done something very noob. I have not washed out, not dried out my brush, and so it's creating way too watery. So I'm going to remix that color. With a relatively dried out brush, and we're going to try it again. Okay. And I should have dabbed like here. Okay. So okay. All right, let's step back. Okay, I like what's happening here with the shadows in the okay. sure about that. Not sure, ladies and gents, not sure. Okay. Let me take a little bit of green, a little bit of brown. All right, we kind of laid this back in. So we got some foliage back on the tree, on the cliff. Hello, hello to those of you watching that have popped in. I think new faces have popped in. Feel free to say hello. Feel free to say hello. I am enjoying chatting with y'all, so ask questions. Feel free to say hello. There's a couple of you on YouTube, it looks like. So if you're watching on YouTube, say howdy, howdy. And glad to, whoops, I'm moving your picture, sorry. All right. I'm trying to clean this up, and for those of you that are just joined or just have just joined, I'm trying to build more shadow into here and down in here, because when I started, it was all very flat. So I'm trying to figure out how to develop that depth perception. And I think I'm getting closer. One of the things we did is we darkened the stone walls here. They were really, really light yellow color, tan color. And we darkened them with kind of a grayish brown, which gave us a little feeling of shadow on this side of the cliff that the sun is coming over here. We're going to lay in some more these bright colors on top here. So that's kind of what's on the agenda tonight. I also repainted this tree in. I learned a blending color that if you use a little purple or a little, I used, I think, a little purple and a little gray in your birch. You don't want it totally white because they're not totally white. And I'm going to repaint these birches here because obviously I painted over them. But you want to have that color that's kind of a, I don't know, bluish, purplish, brownish. So that's what we're trying to do. All right, let's see. I'm still not totally happy with all of this mess up here, but we can improve it. I'm much more happy here with the composition, like how it's laid out. Now I just want to change this color because I think this is too much of a minty green. I think it needs to be more of a yellow green. So let me try that. Let me mix a little green with a little yellow. See what we can come up with. This is something I haven't figured out how to truly create that color, that natural, like sun-kissed color of trees. It is like a yellow green, but it's like I don't know how to, it's not really yellow. And if you add white, then you end up with kind of a diluted mint. But maybe we can get there. All right, let's try that. Let's take a look at what this does. Maybe it's a little bit closer. And it's going to be just this little edge that's kind of, and then here, right in front of the kind of meadow, there's some sun peeking through. Actually, up in here is just a little tiny bit. So I'll put that in. All right. So this is trying to, then what we'll do is just do little bits over the shadow here. I don't want to paint all of that. This is green, yellow, and a little white. I remember when I started painting, people would say, mix a little bit at a time because it will teach you to mix. And they weren't wrong. Oops. Learning to mix a little bit at a time and remix the same color really does help you learn to mix better. Okay. Down there. This whole section is kind of this orangish or yellow-green. wonder if I can try my fan brush again. Nope. Doesn't work the way I want it to, but we'll get there. All right, let's do just a few dots in here. Tanya, thank you. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. I'm learning a little bit at a time. It's been just a couple months, so we're getting there. Okay. I am super curious who is watching on Facebook or on YouTube. There's one person watching on YouTube. If you, whoever you are the secret person. Okay. So we laid in, I'm a little more happy with this color than I was kind of that scary mint color. So I'm gonna work on that a little bit because that was a little disconcerting. Have that mint so much. I'm gonna mix some more yellow, take it up here, cut out some of that mint if I can, make it more realistic. But I don't want to lose the composition because I like the composition. Okay, need to put a little bit of this up in here because there's some the sun's shining up in this area. Okay. Let's see. That is almost, sorry, I'm looking at the reference photo here. It's just really, it's almost a white. So let's go in here. There's I'm barely touching the canvas, just dotting in some of this highlight over the green, which the hope is it will give, it will give those areas in the background some definition and suggestion of the sunlight really shining in there. There's a little bit down here on these front edges of the bushes where the sun is catching the light, and then definitely down here in the grass. The sun is definitely shining down on there. And top here. Top of the grass, definitely. Not sure. There's a little there. And then back in here, there's quite a lot. Because the sun is really shining off these trees. It's almost direct sunlight back there. A little bit. Okay, I think that's good. And again, we got a little bit over here. Just a very little bit. And right here, there's sun just peeks over and catches the top of these. Okay. All right. Now what I would like to do is come in and create this tree in the foreground that kind of hangs down over. And I think I can use the same brush and the same colors. But let us see. Maybe it needs to be because we need pretty dark, kind of the dark green. Up here in the corner, we're going to have the darkest green, which is mixed with a little blue. This is just the leaves. almost need it darker. I'm just using little tiny strokes. A lot of paint. Got to keep reloading paint often. This is the closest to the viewer. And so it's the most definite. All right. These leaves closest to the trunk. in the shadows. Okay. I know I say okay a lot, don't I? We're getting there. We're getting there. So, all right, we have our dark colors. What I would like to do is go put in again the tree trunk. Little brown and blue actually to make this tree trunk work. Smooth it out a little bit. I'm going to put a little water into the brown and blue mixture just so it'll spread a little easier. It's Ooh, I don't know that I like that, but it is what it is, so we'll fix it. All right. Now we need kind of a brownish, whitish color to give some texture to this tree. There's almost like a reflection on the water, of the water, on the underside of this. Okay. Thanks, Bob. It is beautiful. It's funny, all the years that I went to the Black Hills, 30 plus years growing up, I never visited Spearfish Falls. Let's see. Never visited Spearfish Falls. much more happy with how this is turning out than the other night. So this is all right. Yay. Much better. Now, what I want to do is put some, should have scooted this tree should be back a little bit because I'm afraid it's going to steal from the from what I have going on here. So we shall see. Okay, where's my white? I recognize I am being very quiet right now. Please feel free to pipe in and ask questions or chat my ear off if you'd like. I'm going to go back in here, try to put in some more highlight. Because it's almost all in the sun. now I'm trying to do these, the very closest tree to us, trying to do the brightest leaves that are out here on the edge. They actually hang way out. I know that's not exactly the reference photo, but gives the idea of it. Okay. This brings the leaves much further forward. Ideally, this tree would be set back this way, and this would be a little more over this way, but I'm still happy with how it's starting to turn out. So, let me see. I wonder if I'm sharing this post to Facebook again, just so if people are browsing Facebook as they wind down the night, they can pop in and say hello. All right. One of the things I want to work on a little bit, I'm going to mix a little white with a little purple. I want to work on these falls because not purple enough. There's kind of a bluish, maybe it's actually blue. We should bring that in. Ooh, way too blue. All right, let me try this again. Hello, hello. If you're joining the live stream, say hi. I am just working on the actual, I finished doing some of this highlighting of the tree. Happy I'm redoing some of the work I did on Sunday, but I wanted to do a little work on the falls here. There's kind of this bluish purple tint to the water. It's not a white, pure white. So I wanted to see if I could do that. Let's see. In order to indicate that it's kind of in the shadows. There's kind of this misty upspray happening at the bottom. I think it needs a little more. kind of goes out here. Okay. I want to give a little shadow to this. This is almost all in the shadow. Other than the very top. All right. That does, I think, what I need it to do. It's kind of this brownish, bluish, blackish color that I'm going to try to separate some of this because I painted it too, so I painted it too solid. Sorry. I started thinking and I quit talking. Oh. Okay. All right. So we have the bluish color. There's a little bit of white up here where there's a highlight. It's actually still blue. Where it kicks out, catches the light. What I want to do though is oops, that blue, purple mixture. To very clearly I've never painted waterfalls before. What I'm learning is I want to paint the whole background dark. I left kind of streams because it doesn't really, it's not super effective to go back in now and paint the rocks in, but that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I may come back to this. I don't know that I could do another live stream of this. I think y'all would be pretty tired of me painting the same, working on the same thing. But I'm just a little compulsive, anal retentive, and I'm like, oh, I want to make it better. So all right. This looks so weird to me. Okay. All right, y'all. As much as I would keep going all night, I have to work tomorrow, and I think I just need to stop. I still have work to do on this. I still want to put these trees back in and maybe clean up some of this, but I'm much happier with it tonight than I was yesterday, so that's kind of cool. And yeah, I will keep working on it, and somewhere I will post on Instagram, probably I will post it when it is done. So we'll keep working. Alrighty, y'all have a good night, everybody, and I will see you next time. I'm going to keep doing these live streams, whether there are people on them or not. But I hope to, over time, build up a group of people who like to watch what I do, like to just hang out, have some fun, and so we will catch you next time.